Hey everyone, and welcome to this unbelievable interview that I'm about to do. This is going to be more of a webinar than an interview. And if you are doing, it doesn't matter what you're doing for the next hour and a half, you should stop doing it and pay attention, because I have Carlos on here who is not only got a great backstory in terms of his life, which I'm sure we'll touch base on in a minute, but he has blown up his bank balance using LinkedIn, and he's going to show you exactly how he's doing it today. I'm so honored that you decided to do this for me and my audience. And, you know, Carlos, I can't thank you enough. So welcome.
Thank you, man. Thanks, Ryan. Really appreciate to be here, man. I was looking forward to that, and hopefully I can add as much value as I want to add, and let's do it.
I'm sure you will. I'm so excited for this because my LinkedIn game is shit. So I need to improve. So not only is this going to be for my audience, but I know I'm going to get a lot out of this. I have a lot of LinkedIn connections, so I should be leveraging it more. I just don't. And, you know, so I'm stoked for this. As we go through, you'll see you can add your questions and we'll get them answered. We'll do them in real time as well. So, but first and foremost, Carlos, I've watched a couple of your interviews with other people, and you have an incredible backstory. This, you know, smart, lovely looking image once was a bit of a troubled soul. So, do you want to just dive in and set the scene for people first, and how you've changed your life around, just so if anyone is at that moment where hopefully they're not as bad as where you were, but if they are feeling down in the dumps, and they feel like they've got no hope, then hopefully you can inspire them to get off their ass and do something.
Totally, man. Thanks for the kind interaction. I'm just trying to find the group here so I can see if people comment. Look, guys, first of all, thanks for watching. If you're watching live, type live. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching the replay, type replay. I'm gonna try this. Oh yeah, I can see comments. Look, my backstory to make it. I'm an engineer. I got the wrong degree. I made the wrong decisions when I was young. Yeah, at 17, you don't know what the fuck you want to do with your life, and I just decided to be an engineer because it sounded really cool. Long story short, while I was an engineer, I was also dealing with drugs. I was at uni. I was doing all the wrong things. I was trying to make money. I wanted to make some wealth. I tried everything. Of course, it wasn't the right thing to do. After uni, I got into corporate, thinking that corporate was going to be the formula of happiness, and it was the formula of misery. And I started feeling anxiety and insomnia, and I nearly died out of a stroke at 29. It was that bad. Then what I did, I quit everything, moved right to the other side of the world. Today I can speak average English. Back then, I had no idea about the language. I went to Sydney, Australia, and I went there to learn English for 4 months, and I ended up being there for 5 fucking years. And it was a great experience, a great learning curve. And one of the things that I learned, one of the things that made me get first into coaching, then moving into more a consulting position, it was that I realized that what I was doing, it wasn't a big deal, but people were telling me, "Oh, how brave you are! I couldn't do that." And people telling me that they couldn't do things that, to me, yes, it was a little bit of an effort, but hey, if I do it, you can do it. You got 2 hands, you got 2 arms, and 2 eyes, and a mouth. Why are you saying you can't? You're saying you don't want. And I realized that we all are unstoppables if we have the right mindset and the right strategy. And when I got back from Sydney, that was 2016. I ended up in corporate again, and same thing happened. I was miserable. I couldn't sleep. I was stressed out. And in 2017, I said, "Fuck this! I really need to do something. I'm gonna build a business, and it's gonna be a business that's gonna allow me to travel, to work from home or from wherever I want. And I have no idea how to do it. I don't know anything about the online world, but I'm gonna figure it out." And I put these words out there, and I started talking to people and sharing my dreams, because I knew that if I was sharing it with everyone, I would do whatever it takes to make it happen. Otherwise, it would be really like a big shame for me, right? So you don't want to disappoint everyone. So anyway, started with coaching, loved the consulting side, and yeah, I built a business on Facebook. It was like $500,000 in sales in the first year. And then in 2020, January 2020, last year, before COVID, Facebook shut down my account. So I was left with nothing. I couldn't reach out to my clients. I couldn't create a new account because when I put my photo, Facebook would see that it was me and would delete my account, these motherfuckers. So I'm like,
for those that are not maybe in an advertising role just yet, as you scale your business, you will go into paid ads. This is a common theme amongst most people, that Facebook do shut your ad accounts down for no apparent reason, and they just you can never get back in. So you have to be able to pivot. So Carlos, continue how you've done it. But yeah, you know, this is not. It's not because you've done something terribly wrong or whatever. Like for unknown reasons, Facebook just shuts accounts down.
Yeah. One of the reasons for that is because Facebook, as any other social media platform, there is an algorithm. You've seen the Lord of the Rings. You see the eye that sees everything. This is the freaking algorithm. So they see what you do. They see what you say. They hear what you talk about. And if the algorithm thinks that you're not doing the right thing, they shut you down, and there's no one you can reach out to. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now? And I'm like, I need to build the same business somewhere else. If I done it once, I knew I could do it twice. So I thought LinkedIn would be a good place. So I went on to LinkedIn. That was February last year. And yeah, long story short, I started implementing the same strategies that I used on Facebook. But of course, you need to learn about the algorithm and understand a little bit the principles of the platform, because you need to understand the mindset that people bring to the platform, the kind of content, and all this other stuff. But once you get these differences right, then it's the same game all the time. So this is what I'm going to explain today, if that's okay.
We are looking forward to it.
Awesome. So I'm going to share my screen. Is that cool?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I think you have to do that. Great.
There we go.
So look, guys, you've heard about the six figures and coaches helping coaches and coaches helping other coaches make $10,000 months. And I'm a little bit over this stuff because it's like, hey, guys, you need your marketing needs to be relevant and it needs to be different. Otherwise, it will fall in deaf ears. But this is a system that I call the six-figure method because it's what I used to make my first six figures. And it's the system that I still make today for a multiple six-figure revenue, and my clients are using as well. And this is the name that I gave it. So this is. And your
clients are all different industries, all different types of businesses. So this is relating. Obviously we're in the property space here, so this is all directly relevant to building your property brand out and using this strategy for that.
Yeah. Look, good point, man. The thing is that this is not about coaching. This is not about consulting. It's not about the kind of business. This is about understanding human psychology, human communication, and understanding social media platforms. If you understand the basics, then it doesn't matter what you're selling. It doesn't matter who's your target audience. If they are online, and they are, I promise, you can reach out to them, put your message in front of them, and sell them what they need. So this is not a system that works only depending on the algorithm. This is a system that it works offline, it works online, it works today, it worked yesterday, and it will work tomorrow because it's based on human psychology and human behavior. And this is something super important to understand. Now, so just super quickly, okay? This is the 5 basic steps that we'll be following, and it doesn't matter where you are, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, but today we're gonna focus on LinkedIn. The first thing that you need to work on is your brand. So this is your brand, and this isn't a cool logo, a beautiful website, or all this kind of fancy business cards that some people spend a lot of time and money building. This is how you speak to people, how you show up, the kind of content that you put up there, the kind of properties that you're selling and offering to people so they understand what kind of value you bring to the market. Then you need to understand who's your audience, because if you're selling, I don't know, I don't know much about the property industry, but let's say that you're selling condos, like luxury condos. And everyone in your audience are people who are looking for an apartment, like a cheap apartment to rent. You're going to be putting all this great content out there. Your brand is going to be spot on, but your audience, they're not interested because they're looking for a different product. So when you build your brand, you need to understand who's your audience. And when you build your audience, you need to understand who they are. So you reach out and you build your audience full of potential clients. Hey guys, look, if you have any questions, please write it in the comments, and also Ryan, feel free to stop me anytime if I'm speaking too fast. There's a lot of content in the training, and I just want to make sure that I get through everything.
All good. I'll keep an eye on the comments, and I'll drop them in.
Awesome. So once you get your audiences right, what you want to do is to influence them. Why do you want to influence? This is not about shady techniques about how to get people to follow you. This is about understanding how to get them through the know, like, and trust factor fast. And the thing is that in the online space, especially in the online space, people are never going to buy from you unless they know you, they like you, and they trust you. Because you never buy something from someone who you don't trust. And if you don't like them, I promise you're not even gonna talk to them. So we want to understand how to create the right content to get them through this process, and then of course you need to convert them, because otherwise you'll become a broke influencer. And if this is someone who has a big audience, a lot of engagement, and no money. So we need to understand how to take this audience into a process. This is the organic funnel. And I call it funnel because it's a sales funnel, but not a fancy funnel webinar that you can run online. And then you need these people to get results. If you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're going to get them results. If you're a property manager, you're selling property, well, you want your clients to be happy, because if you sell them something that it's a piece of shit and they don't like it, they'll start complaining about you. And that's not going to bring in more sales. But if you give them a good deal, they are a happy client, they will bring more referrals. And on top of that, you'll be sharing these results, and all the people will see what kind of results and cool stuff you do for your clients. And that's going to feed back into your brand. And it gets up to the point that I call like the snowball effect, where this momentum, it keeps building and building and building on itself. You keep selling better deals, you keep rising your prices, you keep selling bigger properties, because you got a lot of trust from your audience. Cool?
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's understand this one. Everyone tells me that I'm a cheeky mofo, a Spaniard cheeky mofo, and I came up with something that I call the threesome model. And again, this is something that it works in every industry. It works everywhere. It works since the day that you were born until the day that you will die. And the market works like that, okay? This is your niche. This is the people that you could help, and they have a problem. In this case, this guy has a big problem. He's dying. He needs some water. He's thirsty. He's in the middle of the desert. It's a clear niche with a clear problem, or a clear needs, okay? The next thing that we have is you. This is you and your services, your consulting, coaching, your property, and you have what he needs. But what you're lacking here is the communication. Unless you have a clear message, a clear brand that communicates this message to your niche, people are never going to buy from you. So what you need is a clear message. And the message, if you put a message like that in front of someone who is dying, because they don't have anything to drink, guess what? They'll raise their hand and they'll ask you, hey, I need that. And when you get these three pieces right, and it seems very simple, it seems common sense, but I promise it's not, because most people never get this right. But when they get it right, I see so many businesses explode, and it always brings to my mind this image, which is this crazy guy. It's something magic happens, okay? And I've seen that, and I've been paying attention. Sometimes some businesses never fly, and some of the people, you see them that all of a sudden they know when today and tomorrow they just flying. So this makes a huge difference.
It's amazing how when you're marketing a business, you do think you need to cover all angles and everything. But, you know, really, like, you look at most successful businesses, especially at the start, they are like so niche. They've got exactly a pinpoint. They've located on maybe one problem that they're going to fix, and they build from there. And I think in our world, there is a bit of an element of, because we've got so many different property strategies that you can do to make money, that you end up like advertising and trying to market yourself for them all, you know, rather than just like niching down and getting going. And as you say, a niche business done well can explode overnight.
Yeah, you made a really good point, man. And the thing is that I see a lot of people getting this very, very wrong. And in marketing, if you confuse, you lose. That means that if I put in front of this guy, okay, like these hot beverages and coffee and hot tea, and he's gonna fucking get confused. So he wants one thing and only one thing. So put it in front of them and just focus on providing this value. Because if you fix this one problem and you fix it really well, man, find your niche, find the kind of client wants what you have, and get really good at servicing them. So moving forward, this is your brand. When it comes to your brand, I remember we're talking about LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn gives you a lot of tools to put your message very clear out there, and the profile on LinkedIn it's designed to give your audience the right information if you're willing to learn how to put it there. Now, you want to have a strong personal brand that speaks directly to your audience. This is why it's super important that when you build your brand, when you start putting your content out there, you need to think from the end. That means, what is my audience going to resonate with? What kind of words, what kind of pictures, what kind of images? Not only about the things that you're selling, but yourself. Okay, if they're expecting to find someone dressed in a suit, man, don't dress like a homeless person, because they're not gonna trust you. And if they farmers, let's say farmers, okay, you're not gonna go and sell to a farmer dressed in a suit, right? You're gonna dress like them. You're gonna dress in a way that they resonate with you. So think about your clients first. Now, the online space, and you know that it doesn't matter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Google, if you put a property investments or properties in London in Google, you'll get like millions. I bet, I mean, I haven't done it, but I bet that you'll get millions of results. Now, what you want is to stand out. You want to be the authority, because when people see you, they know that you are the person they're looking for. So LinkedIn is no different. Now, for that, what I've got here, it's a LinkedIn profile optimization checklist. And I think what I have to do now, because once I start sharing this, I click on this link, another screen will show up. Let me just open it up, and then I'll have to stop sharing, and I'll have to open the other screen, if that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, where are we? Let me stop sharing that one, and let me share the other one. It's gonna be super quick. Here we are. So this is a LinkedIn optimization checklist, and I'm not going to go really in depth into it, because at the end of the presentation, I'll let you know how you can get access to it, and you can scroll it through and read it through. But basically, what you have on LinkedIn is a lot of real estate to put your information in there. Okay. Why LinkedIn profile optimization? The reason you want to optimize your profile is because LinkedIn is like your landing page. If you don't have a website, it's okay. You get a LinkedIn profile, you optimize the words, you optimize all the content in there. And when someone Googles your name or property investment, if you have the right words on your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn profile is going to show up on Google. And also, of course, if someone's searching on LinkedIn, it's SEO sensitive. So it's super important that you understand what words your audience is going to be looking for, okay? Maybe it's luxury apartments in South London. Maybe it's luxury condominiums in, I don't know, whatever that is. You get the point.
Yeah.
So
that's powerful. I wasn't aware that LinkedIn was so SEO.
Yeah, it's
SEO
amazing.
friendly, yeah.
It's amazing, man. If you Google my name or your name on your LinkedIn, one of the first results that are gonna come up is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a super powerful tool, man. So here I explain how to find the words that are the optimal for you using Google and also using the platform itself. You can watch the training later on. It's a checklist because I want to make sure that you take care of every one of the parts of your profile, and I explain each one of them. It's super important, guys. Don't dismiss that, because you see a lot of profiles on LinkedIn and you see like they don't have a photo. Okay, who am I talking to? Or they don't have a description. It's like, hey, look, you gotta be social, okay? This is not like people think that they're gonna put the message out there, it's gonna resonate with their clients, will flow towards them. It's not like that. You need to do a little bit of work. But here it's everything. It's super well explained. This is the about section that I used to have. Now I have a different one, because your results will change, your business will grow, and your LinkedIn profile, it needs to be something alive, okay? As you grow, you will create content, you will change your results, you will change stuff. And this is like the best resume you can have, and it's a live resume. So I'm explaining every step of the way, and I'm explaining here a little bit better, so you can watch that later on. Let me now go back to the presentation. There you go.
So for everyone watching, we'll get a link to that document. What I'm going to do is I will tag Carlos in the comments, because he is in the group, and you guys can reach out to him direct as well. But we'll get these links put in the comments section as well. And then I'm going to pin this to the top of the group as well.
Yeah, awesome. I'll explain how it works at the end of the presentation. It's going to be cool. So now your audience. This is, when it comes to building an audience, LinkedIn is the best platform by far. Like, there's nothing like LinkedIn to build an audience, especially for professionals, okay? Now, when you reach out to people, you want to be building your audience daily. Every day you need to reach out to new people, adding them to your platform. Make sure that you send them the right connection request so they don't ignore you. Don't send connections in bulk, like hoping that people will accept everything and you'll build the audience super quick. You need to spend a little bit of time. And if you don't want to spend this time, you hire a VA. And I personally have VAs for all my clients. I've got a team of VAs in the Philippines. They're amazing. They trained, and they charge me between $5 and $10 per hour, which is cheap as chips. So if you get resourceful, you don't need to spend a lot of money, and it works like a dream. Now, your audience. The most important thing that you need to understand from your audience is their pains and their desires and their fears. Okay. Because then you're going to be able to create a marketing message that is going to be super powerful. And this is how sales work. Like, no one moves a finger for nothing. When you need to make a decision and spend time, energy, or money on something, it's like, okay, what's in there for me? What problems is it going to solve me? And if I can get there without doing the things that I fear doing, better. So in the case of the property, well, maybe the desire is a beautiful place at a cheap price. Right. Their fears, well, what if I buy it and then it's going to be a disaster and it starts having problems and walls falling down? That could be one of the fears. I don't know. Sorry if I'm totally wrong. And what are the pains? Well, maybe the pains are all the paperwork and going through all this process. So if you sell properties that are beautiful and cheap, and you give them warranties, so you break through the fear, and then you don't get your clients to go through all the pain of buying a property, then you got a willing solution. And I'm just making an example up but you get the point.
Yeah.
Cool. So Sales Navigator. Do you guys know about Sales Navigator? Have you used Sales Navigator before?
I've not. I've heard of it. I have heard of it, but I've never used it.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna open it up here in my computer. Let me do the same thing as I did before. I'm gonna stop sharing that for a second. I can't share another one right now. Okay, 1 second. Let me share again. And now let me see if I can do that. Sales Navigator. Okay, here we go. So now you should be able to put it up. So this is Sales Navigator, okay? It's a paid service, but it's one. I mean, it's a no-brainer, okay? It's about $74 a month for that. If they had to pay, if they asked me to pay twice as much, I wouldn't even think twice. So now I'm gonna make, for example, what I have here is saved searches. My team, I say, hey, go look into this search. So for example, that would be leads that fall into my criteria to find them online. So in your case, we could say, what's the term that you would use to find your ideal?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the people in this group will be looking to like rent properties off a landlord to be able to then run them on an Airbnb strategy. So landlords, that the property managers, that type of stuff.
Okay, so you could say property manager. So I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just want to show you, okay? If this is the keyword, remember when we said that it's SEO sensitive? So what LinkedIn is doing now is searching on other profiles to find out who's got these words somewhere in their profile. And some of them have it here, right, in the tagline. Some of them might have it in an old work that they did or something like that. But we got right off the bat 450,000 people who are active on LinkedIn on the last 30 days, okay? You don't want to go for the 3 million results here because these people might have a LinkedIn profile, but they might never use it. So you want to go for the ones that have used it for the last 30 days, which are the ones who are active. Now, cool. Now let's see how many filters do we have. We can say, okay, we just want to do that in the United States. Or you could go just in New York City. It's up to you. Okay, you can go to freaking Alaska if you want, and you will only get people in Alaska. So you can search you can narrow it down as much as you want. Now they keep updating these things. So every time that I look, they've got the new features, right? And relationship means these ones are connected with me, these ones are not. And but I have friends in common, and these ones I have no friends in common. So I'll choose these two. That means that we have something in common. Industry. Okay, what industry? Law and practice, or energy, real estate. That makes sense. So real estate. I mean, and again, I'm just making shit up here. You could say, well, I just only want property managers that they work for big firms or big companies. So you can find here company headcount. How many people do they have? Maybe they self-employed because you want them to be entrepreneurs. Great. How many years of experience did they have? I only want people from 0 to 2 years. Great. So 1 to 2 and less than 1. You can go on and on and on and get creative here. And now, if we go back to the search, we went from 85,000 people to 359 people that follow this criteria. This is a very manageable search for you to reach out to these people and say, hey, just reaching out because I realized that you're a property manager in the United States and you've been in the business for less than 2 years, and I've got something that I would like to show you. Would you be interested? Because you have something very specific for this very specific niche. So again, this is a tool for you guys to explore and experiment with, and I promise, if you get a little bit creative on your searches, it's gonna work like a treat. I mean, you can find people really quick.
And you might question going to my head is you might be about to cover this, but in my experience with LinkedIn, you can only send so many messages to people.
Yeah, great question. What you can do on LinkedIn, you can. LinkedIn has got the free version and the paid version, okay? Sales Navigator, it's a paid version, it's a paid service, and it allows you to do as many searches as you can. If you use the free version, you don't get as many filters, and you're very limited with the results that you get for every search that you do. Now, when it comes to sending messages, there is no limit as long as they are connected with you. Mm-hmm. So you need to have the connection first. And the limitation is for the connections. Connections, once you have over 3,000 to 5,000 connections, you can send every day about 50 connection requests without going into LinkedIn jail, which is also a thing. If you're just getting started and you have no connections, LinkedIn will cut you to about 10 to 15% of people that you can reach out from. This 10, if let's say you have 100 friends, you can only reach out to 10 people every day.
10 new people.
10 new people. So you need to keep growing your audience slowly. And you can talk to people who you already know, build an audience fairly quick, and then you keep increasing the number of connections that you send every day. But yeah, this is a social media platform. It's for business, but that doesn't mean that you can go crazy and using automations and reaching out to 1,000 people. You'll get banned like very quickly. And I know it because when I got into LinkedIn after Facebook shut me down, they put me in jail like twice every week. So I learned a few of the things that you can do. Don't ever use an automation on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is crashing down on all the companies that create automations on LinkedIn.
I think just in general, or like Instagram's doing the same, the bots and stuff. Like I think even ManyChat now is getting frowned upon with Facebook, so just put the manual hard labor in, and get the result from it.
Because they want you to pay for ads. They want you to, if you want automations and quick results, you need to pay for ads. Ads are risky and expensive. So the organic way, it is the best way to start a business. Once you reach a certain point, then you're okay to running ads. But LinkedIn, even without running ads, I've never used a LinkedIn ad, and I don't think how successful they are. But yeah, it's better to hire a team manager or someone who can handle this for you, and they all day chat sequencing people. Too easy. I'm gonna swap screen again. Stop screen. Let me go back to where I was before. Cool. Sales navigator, influencing people. Okay, how do we influence your audience? Now, if you on LinkedIn, you can have unlimited followers and you can have up to 30,000 connections. Connections means that you're directly connections, first degree connections. But people can follow you and you can have millions of followers. Now, do you need to reach out to every one of them and build the know, like, and trust factor one-on-one? Fuck no, man, because it would be really overwhelming. So what you want them is to know you, to like you, and to trust you with the minimum effort possible. So here what we use is what I call the 6-figure method organic content marketing strategy. Fuck, this is a long name. And what we do is we always, like, there's basically two main types of content, okay? The content that's gonna set you up as the authority. That means solving problems, testimonials, giveaway. So you're giving information away that not everyone knows it, because not everyone's an authority. So by giving away some information, ebooks, e-guides, tips on how to find the right property, tips on places where it's best to buy because the electricity is cheaper, you become the authority. You become someone of knowledge. And then when you solve problems for your audience and you show testimonials of people saying how beautiful and happy they are in the new place that they bought, then you start rising authority. People want to work with you. And then the next type of content is what I call bonding content. And this is, you need both of them, but if I had to keep one, I'll keep the bonding content. The bonding content is the one that talks about how you did it. It's about the one that talks about what kind of lifestyle are you having, what kind of person you are, because it's gonna drive a lot of people through the know, like, and trust, because they need to connect with you even before they start a conversation, unless you're selling commodities. Okay, if you're selling petrol in a petrol station, nobody cares. The only thing they care about is the price. If you're an idiot, they don't care. They just stop there for a minute, fill up the tank, and then run away. But if they need to jump into a relationship with you and buy something from you, you need to share your journey, your achievements, how you build this company, the success that you got along the way. It's super important. If you look at my profile, guys, both on Facebook and LinkedIn and everywhere, every time I write a piece of content, I write a story. I tell a story. People are going to read it, they're gonna click on it, they're gonna be interested, because storytelling is what we use since the humanity was born, millions and millions, well, I don't know how many millions, I'm just making it up, but we tell stories to our kids to put them to sleep, to make them shut up, and to make them eat, because we love stories. So use storytelling, tell about your story, and connect this and create this connection with your audience, because once they love you, they love your journey, and they trust you, they'll be willing to hear what you have to say. It works like a treat. Like the property is a little, the industry is a little bit different than the coaching. But when I started my business, I posted one post. It was 31st of December, and I posted a post and didn't talk about business or nothing at all. This post generated in sales about $100,000, and I didn't say to anyone what I was trying to sell, because the only thing I needed to do is to build this trust with my audience, and they already knew what I was doing. It's super powerful. So here, look, I'm not really gonna change the screen again. This is a PDF that you will be able to download as well, and this is 10 trust building video topics. I'm not taking credit for the video topics. You will get the 10 video topics, and also the way that I pre-frame my videos and the way that I shoot them and I write the script, because video, it is the most important piece of content that you put out there on social media, especially on LinkedIn, to drive trust, to make people to trust you.
And we have a big, for our audience, we're trying to work with landlords. They've, invested a lot of their own time and money to acquire a property. And then we want to run it on an Airbnb strategy. So instantly there's the trust issue of, is my property going to get damaged? Are you going to pay me? What happens if your business doesn't work? Will I still get paid? So, this whole trust thing is so relevant if you want to start getting landlords to agree deals with you and help you move forward. If they look on your profile and they can see all this trust element, then, it's going to be hugely powerful. Yeah. Look, I think it's worth if I go quickly, man. I just don't want to do this halfway. So let me stop screen and share it again, because I want you guys to see something. And these videos, they are amazingly successful if you shoot them the way I explained here. I'm just gonna go really quickly through it. If you want to show my screen again, I'll run through the copy. So what I want you to see is that these 10 topics, and they've proven to work. And I'm not taking credit for these topics. This was shared with me with an influencer on LinkedIn who's got 1 million followers. His videos go through like the million views and likes, like hundreds of thousands of likes. And I tested these videos, and they have the same effect. And there is not even one topic, apart from this one, that says, what is the number one tip that I give to my clients? Topic number 3. Not even one of these topics talks about business. And the reason I wanted to show you that is because if you scroll down, you'll see this is the hype framework that I use to write my scripts. And just for congruency reasons, I'm just gonna show you. It took me like 30 minutes to write. These are like 5 scripts, and if you look at the thingy, it's exactly as like the same headlines and everything as I'm showing you here, and it works like a treat. And what I wanted to show you is this one here. This is a guy. I shoot a video. I was talking about my favorite quote. And a random guy sent me a friend request, and I always say the same. Hey, Roberto, thank you for your connection request. Curious to ask, what made you reach out? The guy said, hey, Carlos, a friend shared a few days ago your video, Do Not Die With Your Music Still In You. I found it very motivating and engaging. You're the type of people I like to be in touch. Now, this is someone who's never been connected with me, who doesn't know me at all. And this is the kind of connection that you build without talking to anyone, just shooting a video and posting it online. And of course, if this guy was not in my niche, but this was just an example, because most people will not tell you anything.
We'll just add you and that's it. Every time I post one of these videos, I get like a few hundreds of people reaching out to me and sending me connection requests or following me. And this is the kind of trust that you build. Mm-hmm. So don't underestimate that. Videos are super, super powerful. So going back to the presentation. Now, the next step is converting this audience. Now, we always sell in private. We give value in public, we sell in private. Most people think, if you go to LinkedIn, you'll see a lot of posts, hey, book a call with me. Hey, if you want property. Hey, if you want insurance services, click the link, book a call. This doesn't fucking work. People are sick of that. Why? Because they see posts like yours. They see it like a human being scrolls through like 16,000 different posts every week. And we have become numb to the information that is not relevant and it's trying to sell us something, because no one likes to be sold. We don't like to be sold, but we love to buy. We love to buy, but you need to make them to buy, not you don't try to sell them. So I'm saying that because all this content that we're putting out there, it is to build the know, like, and trust, and for people to understand what we do, not to ask them to buy. You're gonna take these conversations to your messenger. In this case, it's gonna be your LinkedIn mailbox. I don't even know how they call it. Everyone calls it differently. And there is where you're gonna get these people from online to offline and on the phone, okay? And when you get them on the phone, then you wanna have a promise and an irresistible offer. And in the coaching industry and consulting industry, that would work a little bit different, but I'm gonna make some example up for some inspiration, and you tell me if I'm full of shit or I'm getting it right. Look, if I was to buy a house, I would like to find someone who I trust and who was gonna give me some kind of warranty, because, well, it's gonna be a fucking big investment. It's gonna be a long process, I believe, and this is what I'm thinking. And I'm not an owner. I bought a house once and I gave it up when I went to Sydney, Australia, because I couldn't pay the mortgage and the bank took it. So I know how, like, the process of getting the mortgage and all this sort of stuff. So if the person that I'm gonna buy it from, they promise me, I don't know, that everything is gonna be okay, or that the paperwork, they're gonna do it for me, or I don't have to worry about anything, some kind of thing that some of the people are not willing to give to them. And then the irresistible offer comes where you show your client your commitment, because everyone can promise things. And today I posted something on Instagram, because there was another one of these coaches helping coaches make $10,000 months organically. I'm like, holy fuck, sending me a friend request. You didn't even look to my profile or what? So you want to give them something that it makes the offer irresistible. So you can tell them, hey, look, I promise that you're not gonna be you don't have to go through the paperwork. You don't even have to go to the bank. I'll do everything for you, and I promise that if the property after 30 days it doesn't look like it should. This is probably not a good example, but you wanna show the client your commitment, because promising it's just it's a one-way road. But when you say, I promise you that you'll get this result and this is going to happen, and if it doesn't happen like that, my commitment, it is that I will do this or that to make up for it. And this is going to change your business, I promise, because then you showing your commitment. You're not promising like every other salesperson that promises the moon and then they give you like a pebble, right? You're saying, hey, look, this is what I promise you. This is the deal. And if it doesn't happen like that, I'll give you a money back guarantee. In your case, you cannot give a money back guarantee for a house, but maybe you can say, look, my fees are these ones. And I'm not.
I read a book once, which it said your company guarantee should keep the CEO awake at night, because it's that powerful.
Yeah,
but it like borderlines on, like a very, very strong offer. But you can only give those guarantees if you're committed to delivering on the front end and the back end. And if you know your service does that, and in our case, when we're going to landlords and we're offering X, Y, and Z and long-term commitments and guaranteed by this, that, and the other, then as long as you know you can deliver the product, then the guarantees are relevant, but it just gives that trust factor that they need to just get the deal over the line.
Totally. And the thing is that it gives your client certainty, because let me tell you something. Since COVID started, one of the things that the market is lacking is certainty, because everything is so unstable. We don't know what's going to happen. We cannot travel. Today we can travel. Tomorrow we cannot. Today we can go out of our places. Tomorrow we cannot. Everything changes so quickly. For example, in my case, what I promised to my clients is, hey, you'll be making this amount of money. And depends on the offer that they jump in. And what I tell them is, if by this day you haven't made this money, I'll be working with you for free until you make this money. So what happens is that I'm gonna work my ass off to help you make money, because I don't want to work for free. And the client knows that. Of course, this comes with some commitments, because if I commit to help you out, you need to be committed to take action and implement on it. So it's like, hey, I'll help you out to get this deal. You have to do this and this and that. I'll do this and this and that. If we both do our work, you'll get this kind of result. So this will change your business like big time.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to converting your audience from being just an audience to being a client, what you do is you chat sequence them. And chat sequence is a word that I don't really like to use, because some people find a little bit of resistance. But I'm gonna show you very briefly how it works, because it's gonna change your game as well. If you, instead of sending applications or requests in bulk to people, you spark conversations and know how to do so on LinkedIn. And again, I'm gonna go very quickly through this chat sequence, but I'm gonna explain slightly how it works. Okay, got the interaction and my interaction as well. I'll feel a lot of blah blah blah. Let's move on. So basically, what you want to have on LinkedIn. This is important. Okay, the content creation and trust building is important, but you need to spark conversations. You need to start conversations with prospects. Otherwise, inbound marketing, it's good, but it's not as good as it can be if you reach out to your clients and start conversations with them. Okay, it's like going to an event that's full of potential buyers, and you sit down in a corner of the room and you don't talk to anyone. Well, it's very hard that they come to you and they say, take my money, give me a property, right? So the same thing here. Basically, what we want to have is an intro message. When we reach out to people, send them a personalized message, something that it's not just copy paste, but sending them, hey, I see that you live in Toronto. How's the weather there? How's the weather there? I'd love to be connected. Something that's personal, so they know that you care. Because people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care, and this is through every single social media platform. Now you send them this connection request. 24 hours later, you will send them. This is when someone sends you a connection request. By the way, when someone accepts your request, you send them another message, because you want to follow up, because some people will accept your request and then they will ignore you or never reply. So you send them a message. What I say here is not a pitch. Don't send pitches. Don't send pitches right off the bat. It's super annoying. If you do that to me, I'll block you. So here what I say is, hey, thanks for accepting the connection request. Welcome to my network. After checking your profile, I wanted to reach out because I see that you are a property investor. I see that you're a property manager and you live in Canada. How cool is that? You probably saw that what I do is I provide this kind of services to people like you. So, I would be really happy to jump on a quick call or send you like a free guide that can be of help for you if you're open to that. So what I'm doing is I'm not saying, hey, I've got an amazing opportunity that you're going to love. This is salesy. Don't even dare telling people you can help them until you have talked to them. Now, what you're doing here is hey, this is a business platform. I just want you to know that this is what I do. And if you're interested, I'm happy to give some free support. Okay?
I get it all the time. I get connected. I mean, I've got 8,000-9,000 people, I think maybe 10 connected. And every single connection I accept, I get a douchebag email or inbox. these are my fucking amazing services, and this is what we do. But they've not even taken the opportunity to figure out what I do. It's just like a blanket email. I don't even read, to be honest. My inbox is just turned off. I just mark as read, you know. So there's a lot of noise in there, and you've got to be able to. There was one sent me an email the other day, and it did grab my attention at the beginning. It was very similar to this, you know, like you're in my network, and something along the lines of like how I've got some ideas how we can collaborate together. But there was no pitch of services, there was no nothing, and it was just like, okay, intrigued, how can we collaborate together, you know, and further the conversation. But so many people are doing it so wrong.
Yeah. The thing is that, like, to me, I shouldn't be. I get triggered when someone does this to me. I find it very annoying. I must say that I've done it in the past when I didn't know any better, and I shouldn't judge people because we all always try to do our best. But the thing is that if you and I, Ryan, are having a conversation, and you're talking things to me, and you're sharing something that happened to you in the past, you know, and instead of acknowledging it and replying it to you and giving some feedback, I keep talking about my own things. You're gonna feel like I'm not fucking listening. So the only thing I care about is me. So the first thing you need to do on LinkedIn, and this is where the common sense it takes place, is like, hey, you first of all, you need to start a conversation and learn about the other person. You don't go to the doctor and you get into the doctor room and the doctor looks up, grabs a pen, writes a prescription, hands their prescription, says, hey, yeah, take this, come back in 2 weeks. And you're like, what the fuck? I haven't even opened my mouth. What do they do? They ask you, they make you see it. They ask you, they explore, they touch here. Is it hurt? No. Is it hurt? No. And then when they have all the information, they able to write you a prescription, but not before. Otherwise, you wouldn't take anything. So this is the same. You got to be a doctor, not a fucking salesman. Now, okay, 7 days after, you want to send them another message if they haven't responded, because the money is in the follow-up. And a lot of people on LinkedIn, as you say, we get so many messages that we just don't care and we don't read them. So you want to be one of these people who reach out respectfully and add value. So in this case, what I would do, hey, you know, I just realized that I never heard from you, and I would like to bump this message up to your inbox. And by the way, here is my white paper on the best properties to rent in the Northern England. You know, so you're adding some value. You're saying, hey, I'm still here. And I've got many clients that they sign up with me because I've been reaching out to them and I've been doing it in a very respectful way. They didn't realize that it was my VA and it was a chat sequence, copy and paste, and they just did it for me. But it's equally effective, right? But you always want to be respectful, and you always want to hear your clients and try to add value. And 28 days after the connection request, if there's no response, you want to send them another message. I recommend, like, you got a few messages more here. Of course, this is a cadence and a sequence that it works for me. And it worked when I started doing that. You want to start somewhere and you want to adjust it. You want to measure it. You want to see what messages are working, what messages are not, and tweak them until you get the results that you want. So again, the chat sequence is something that you wanna keep alive. And I have my own documents where I keep upgrading and updating. If it's Christmas time, so I'll say, hey, I just wanted to see how Christmas going and Happy New Year, something like that. You want to make your messages relevant and to the time that you're sending them.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go back to presentation. I'm getting used to this stuff. Cool. So next one, your results. Now, do you buy in Amazon?
Amazon guy comes to my door every day.
Fuck, you know what? I moved to Cyprus, man. It doesn't get to Cyprus.
My dad lives in Spain. He's the same. He's like, I can't get Amazon here. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, he can. He needs to. I'll help him out because I can feel his pain. I can't buy now. But anyway, when you buy to Amazon, what do you buy? What is the criteria? What is the product that you choose first? You go
anything.
You go for the rating. You go for the one that's got more stars.
Yeah.
And look, if it doesn't have at least 4.5 stars, I don't even look at it, because I know that there's going to be people unhappy with it.
Yeah.
So this is your results, guys. This is why you need results, because when I see that all Ryan's clients are happy and thriving in their houses, who am I going to buy my house to? Ryan, because he's getting happy clients. So these results are not yours. Don't be selfish. Don't be greedy. This is about your clients' results, because when you get happy clients, this is the best strategy you can have. Happy clients, because happy clients, you can share the screenshots of the messages that they send you. You can share photos of their living with their kids, super happy, and other people see that your clients are getting real life results from your services, and that's a game changer. And the better the results, the more happy are your clients, the happier the next clients will be, because they already pre-framed to that. And you get really good at finding the best properties for your clients and the best services, depending on what you're selling. And of course, these are your own results and your own clients. If you live in a shit hole and you're trying to make me like finding a good place for me to live, and you're unhappy in your house, man, I'm not gonna trust you to help me find a house in a nice place. But if you show people that you know this thing, you live in an amazing place, and not only that, but you're also helping people live in an amazing places, and you show that, people will see that you're congruent. You're congruent. You're someone who lives in a mansion, and you're helping people get the best mansions, right? I'm making it up into the property industry. But if you are homeless, man, you're not gonna sell houses, because you don't have a house for yourself, right? So how dare you trying to sell me houses? So scalability, this is important, because if you want happier and happier clients, and the more happy clients you have, the more clients will knock your door, and the more happy clients you will be building. And what do you want to have? One happy client or 1,000 happy clients? And what do you think it's going to bring you more business? 1,000 happy clients. So this is how you scale your business. And the better you get at getting properties or are helping your clients, the more you can charge, and the higher your clients will be willing to pay you, because you're the authority. So this is in a nutshell. Well, not in a nutshell, but this is how the system works. And once you get to a point that at the beginning, it takes a little bit of time, because you might not have any client to talk good about you. You might have not sold a lot of stuff, and you don't have a lot of stuff to put into your brand. Your audience is not very big because nobody knows you. But as soon as you get these 5 points together, especially on LinkedIn, and you start growing your audience, and you get engagement, and people know you, you get to the tipping point. When you make a snowball, you first get it with your hands, and you put it on the ground, and you need to to knee down, to push it a little bit and start making it big. But when it's a good size, you just push it over the hill, and this thing rolls over, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger with no effort. So this is where you want to get with your business. So look, that's the deal now. That's the deal now, guys. Look, here's my LinkedIn link, which you're gonna share down the bottom, and then this is the Unstoppable. Sorry, that shouldn't have been here. But anyway, this is my group, the Unstoppables, and this is the whole presentation. I usually share at the end of the presentations in exchange of meaningful testimonial, because one of the things, and I'm gonna stop sharing and share my LinkedIn screen again. If you're getting started on LinkedIn, let me find my LinkedIn. If you're just getting started on LinkedIn, one of the best things that you can do is to talk to people who, like coworkers, people that you've been supporting, people that you've been helping for free, happy clients, if you have any happy client, and ask them to leave you a recommendation. Now, recommendations are social proof, okay? When I talk about results, you might not have yet real life results or client results, but you can build some social proof for people. When they jump to your profile, they'll see that you're a real human, that you see that other people love you, right? So you scroll down, and you come down the bottom, and you'll see a section that it's called recommendations. So here you can ask people for recommendations, or you can go to someone's profile and leave them a recommendation. So what I always do is, because this is what I teach, so it's going to someone's profile, leaving them a meaningful recommendation, and then this person's it needs to be meaningful, right? So, hey, I attended one of Carlos' masterclasses and he added so much value. Whatever it is, something nice, even if it's one sentence, it's gonna help your clients or people who don't know you to understand that you're someone likable. And when I got started on LinkedIn, what I did is reach out to everyone that I knew, like coworkers or past employees, people who I knew they would leave me a recommendation. And what I did is, hey, could you leave me like something that you think it's valuable for me, something that you learn from me, just a few words. And then what happens is that other people see it, and people like what people like. Like, people are smart, dumb are masses are dumb. So look, if you are so kind to come to my profile, add me as a connection, let's connect on LinkedIn, and you drop me a recommendation. It doesn't need to be an essay. I'll send you all the trainings that you've seen here, and you can get access for free. Sounds good?
Sounds perfect. I'm gonna do that now, because this has been, this has been unbelievable. Anybody? So I'm gonna pin this to the top of the group, and I'll tag you in the post, and any links that you want to drop in there as well to get people onto your profile or wherever, we'll put them in. And I know the audience will be, streaming into the group post 6 p.m. and then over the weekend as well. So we'll leave it up there. And but this has been incredible. I think, if you're not using LinkedIn, just to get say for someone who, what would be your just first 3 steps for right now if you wanted to take this training and just go to LinkedIn? Obviously, get your profile set up correctly, start connecting with the right people. Would you go straight to Sales Navigator paid, or would you?
No, look, when I got started, like the information that I'm sharing here, it costed me like a few thousands of dollars. Like the things that I'm giving away for free. Literally, I paid a few $1,000s for that. And I didn't get Sales Navigator because I couldn't afford it. But the thing is, with that, you can get your profile set up. You can get your chat sequence and start reaching out to people. You can start creating content and building your audience. And with these 3 things, I promise, you don't need anything else to start generating sales. Because once you talk to an ideal client, you don't need Sales Navigator, but once you talk to an ideal client and this person understands that what you have is of value, and you sell them something, well, how much can it be a sell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you get Sales Navigator, and then you don't need anything else apart from that to start making money on LinkedIn.
Okay, superb. And there will be some people that may require your deeper services, your paid services. What can they get? How do they get involved with you?
Oh, look, thanks, man. That would be epic. Like, I would be super happy to jump on a quick call if you add me on LinkedIn and send me a quick message there. I'm happy to, look, I'll be super happy to anyone in your group, man, to jump on a call and give them like a LinkedIn profile audit and give them some guidance for free. And if at the end of the call they want to explore how it looks like to work together, happy to discuss.
Awesome. And do you hang out on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I haven't got into TikTok yet.
There's so many, isn't there? It's like, where do you spend your time?
Yeah, man, I keep seeing these videos. I'm like, you guys aren't doing anything else, eh?
I know. We've got good teams behind us, right? We've got good teams behind us.
Yeah.
No, Carlos, this has been amazing. I'm so happy that you've done this for my audience. And as I said, I'm going to pin this stuff up because I know how valuable this is going to be. I'm actually going to download this and I'm going to put it into my core program for my clients as well, because I think there's so many tips here around branding and marketing, just generic. It doesn't really matter what platform you're using. Obviously, you've absolutely nailed it on LinkedIn. and a great tool there. But the ethos around it is fantastic. So thank you very much. If you do watch this video or you have watched us live, please go over to Carlos's profile and write him a recommendation, because what he's offered you here is a game changer. And like anything that we deliver, please take some action. Don't just watch this and do nothing and say you're going to do it. Just take some action, get your profile set up, get the guides off Carlos so you can actually, put your messaging system in place. Start finding those landlords, start reaching out to the right estate agents that you're going to be able to get your properties from, and start setting up, your profitable Airbnb businesses by acquiring the assets, getting the properties on board. I can see huge value in this. As I said to you earlier in the call, I didn't really know much about, I use LinkedIn, but didn't really penetrate it. But I can see already how this is going to be, another angle of attack for our business to help those acquisitions, especially as I am now pushing over to Dubai. I can easily use this LinkedIn navigator and get us further forward. So, Carlos, thank you very much, my friend. And I will see you soon.
Pleasure. Thanks a lot for having me, man. And I really enjoyed that. And I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, definitely.